Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Houghton. I am Catherine Spalding for Channel 49, reporting live from Houghton campus. Thank you for joining me. Today, we are seeking to answer several hot topic questions regarding education and students with disabilities. Our first topic of issue is in regards to standardized testing and what kind of impact it has on students in the classroom, particularly those with disabilities. Now, live to Jordan Reed on the streets of Houghton. Jordan?
Excuse me, can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Jordan Reed with Channel 49, and I had a quick question for you.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
First of all, what is your name?
Miss Sarah McKittrick.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being part of our news interview here. What impact does standardized tests have on students with disabilities?
I don't think it shows their full potential.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
Well, I just find that I think it's good to hold our special ed students to a standard, of course. But it doesn't show what they can do.
That is true, it doesn't show. Should students with disabilities take the test? And if not, how can their learning be assessed?
I don't think it's bad that they take the test. Well, that's hard.
It is a tough question.
Why are you asking me this?
Well, it's because we wanted to get on the spot questions or answers from people that are just seem to be very intelligent.
Well, I am intelligent.
You are.
So I'm going to say that if they take the test, no, I don't think they should. I mean, they can if they want to see kind of how they rank up with the norm of students, but I think that their learning should be assessed in a way that shows what they've been working on and what they have achieved instead of what they can't achieve.
So you are saying that you think that their assessment should be more authentic and more individualized for students with disabilities.
That's exactly what I was trying to say for the past 5 minutes. Yep.
You heard it here, live from Miss McKittrick. This is Jordan Reed with Channel 49 News.
Our next topic regards providing services for students with disabilities. These services are designed to meet the developmental and academic needs of students with disabilities. Now back to you, Jordan.
Okay, thanks, Catherine. I am here on scene with Bethany Hackett. Bethany, what are some challenges that you could encounter getting students services with students that have disabilities?
Well, that's a very tiny microphone. I think if there is not support with administration in a school, it would be difficult to get those services, especially if your CSE chair is not always on top of things. As a teacher, you might be adamant about it, but some other people might not see it as a priority, so it would be difficult to get them services in a timely manner.
Okay. How do you think you can overcome these challenges?
I would say as a teacher, demanding those services for your students and being their advocate. Sometimes parents have a stronger voice, so to get them on board and as many people as you can who are supportive of it and never giving up on them and just continually be knocking on people's doors to make it happen, even if you're a little bit of a pest, but the students come first.
So what I'm hearing is that you think that we should form partnerships with parents and other professionals in the school district.
That is correct, because sometimes by yourself you do not have as much power.
You heard it from Bethany. Forming partnerships is one way to overcome the challenges. Back to you, Catherine.
Our final topic circles around the issue of APPR, or teacher accountability, and how this could affect students with disabilities in the classroom setting. Back to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Catherine. I am here with Miss Emily Wendell. Emily, how does APPR help teachers meet the needs of students with disabilities in their classroom?
I think APPR helps hold teachers accountable, communicate high standards for all students, including those with disabilities, and they're able to do that through individualized SLOs.
How can it negatively affect your students with disabilities in the classroom?
I think it has the potential to damage the relationship between teachers and students because a teacher could become frustrated with a student with disability who is not progressing as quickly as they could outline on their SLA. And so there could be a negative impact on the camaraderie between the teacher and the student.
Now, do you think or do you predict that teachers will push to not have students with IEPs or 504 plans in their classroom because of the APPR and because they are being held accountable?
Unfortunately, I think that could be a side effect of APPR. They wouldn't want students who are going to make them reflect that back to the state.
You heard it live here with Emily Wendell. Catherine, back to you. Here we are in the Channel 49 newsroom. This is Kayla Densing, Catherine Spalding, and I am Jordan Reed, and we are here to give you our final closing thoughts for the morning. Kayla?
Well, in discussing the APPR and the current challenges we have found with it, we'd like to recap on the question, how is it helpful for us teachers, us educators? And we've come to the conclusion, that it's providing teachers with an accountability, and with that accountability, they have to meet certain standards and address, the responsibilities that they have, and they can't really get away with neglecting things. However, there's also the negative implications. With those responsibilities, teachers might shy away from the possibility of having students with IEPs or 504s. I know in my school, I know that classrooms have up to 30 students, and we're allowed to have a maximum of 17 students with IEPs, which could be pretty scary for teachers. And it's a realistic fear. Their scores would come down with the APPR. It's a tough balance.
Yes, very true. Now to speak to the impact of standardized testing for our students with special needs. To be honest, from my research and my interactions with different people in the community, standardized testing doesn't seem to be providing an appropriate or authentic means to assess the understanding of really most students. The tests measure a very specific standard of student success and a very specific way of assessing this standard. So for students with disabilities, they already face many challenges in the general classroom depending on how inclusive the situation may be. So we're finding that standardized testing does not seem to be the best way to assess students with disabilities, unless there are proper accommodations in place according to an IEP or 504 plan. However, even so, these tests still are likely not the best way to assess understanding. They do not assess student growth and development in these kinds of tests, which is a concern. Because for students with disabilities, often this is developing specific goals throughout the year, rather than meeting one specific set of standards or milestones. In some cases, these milestones will take longer to meet than some of their peers. So yes, standardized testing definitely is an issue of concern for students with disabilities and how this will affect them in this classroom.
And finally, we talked about how and what are some challenges that teachers could encounter getting students with disabilities services in their classroom. And one challenge that I believe that teachers could encounter getting services for students with disabilities in their classroom is just the red tape issue. Is to develop a 504 plan or to get an IEP for a student, there's a lot of red tape that teachers need to jump through. There's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of legalities, issues that need to be addressed and need to be at the forefront when getting student services. So that is one issue that arises when getting students with disability services. And another issue that does arise is getting everyone that provides services on the same page. Getting the CSE chair or the people involved in the child study team and the general ed classroom teacher, the special ed classroom teacher, and then just the OT, PT, the service providers, getting everyone on the same page of what is actually needed for the student can sometimes be a challenge. But one way that teachers can overcome these challenges is by just persevering, never giving up, and knowing that you know what's best for your student. You are with them on a daily basis. You see where their struggles are and what needs they need to have met. So just be that child, that student's advocate, and teach them how to be a self-advocate themselves. Another way that you can really overcome these challenges is just by having critical conversations and building partnerships with the people in the CSE team, child study team, parents. Parents need to be a vital part of getting students in their child services in the school district, and just getting everyone and just having those together on the same page and just talking with everyone and getting everyone to form those partnerships and really see what's best for students.
Thank you, Jordan. So now to conclude our portion this morning, thank you for joining us in discussing these issues surrounding students with special needs in the classroom.
This is Channel 49 News. Thank you for watching this morning and have a great day.